Welcome to episode 8 of Project Dirty Willy. If you caught the last episode, you'll know that we lifted Project Dirty Willy 3 inches and fitted it with some 35 1250s. They are Nitto trail grapplers, and the wheels are Method Racing Fat 5s. So far, we really like the kit. It, handles and drives well. But one thing that we did notice after putting on the larger wheels and tires, it's a little harder to stop. So today we're going to work on that. Come over here to the bench. I've already done one side so I could show you the difference in parts. This is the stock rotor, the stock pads, the stock caliper bracket, and the stock caliper. We're replacing it with these pads, this huge rotor, this great big dual piston caliper, and this new caliper bracket. It's the TeraFlex big brake kit with slotted rotors, just to show you the difference here. The size of the pads. It's your factory single piston caliper. Oh, and the new TeraFlex dual piston caliper, which is considerably heavier. This is a 13.3 inch rotor, and I'm honestly not sure. I'll measure and see what size that is, but I'll set these up and show you a comparison. Okay, I've got the rotor set up there and balanced. As I said before, this one is 13.3 inches is what they advertise. I didn't measure it. Then your factory, I measured, and it is 11 7/8 inches. So you can tell the difference there. Quite a bit of difference. First thing we're going to do is we're going to jack up the Jeep. Just enough so we can spin the tire so we don't have to lift this heavy tire out. Let's throw a jack stand under here. Let's get the wheel off. Let's pull the wheel off. I found that it makes things a lot easier if you turn the wheels a little bit. You want to undo your ABS line here, but be gentle with it. You may have to undo this one here too. We're going to take a 15 millimeter. We're going to pop the brake line loose and then just kind of re-snug it, just so it makes it easier to come off later. We're going to take that same 15 millimeter, and we're going to take a 13 millimeter, and we're going to break these caliper bolts loose. Then if you have like a little bungee strap or anything, some wire, something handy, pull your caliper off of there. Pass the bungee strap through. And just hang it up here somewhere. Get your factory pads out of here. Then take a 21 millimeter and take off these 2 caliper bracket bolts. Grab your rotor and get it off there before it falls on your foot. Next up, get your rotor. And just like any time you do brakes, make sure you get everything nice and clean. down on there just so this thing doesn't fall off. You're going to take your gigantic new caliper and bracket. They come mounted together like this. Get it in position with the bleeder up. And take one of your 21mm bolts. And I'm going to put some thread locker on it. Same with the bottom. I'm just going to run them in here decently tight. And these two bolts get torqued to 120 foot-pounds. There we go. And you're going to take a 17mm and a 14mm. Break this top bolt loose. And rotate it downward. Then you're going to want to slide your pads in. And you're going to notice they're kind of springy because of the style of clip. You're going to squish them together, rotate this up. So you can actually get these little pins indexed into the piston. I'm going to use some thread locker again. Put this bolt back in here. I'm going to take a 17mm wrench again and torque wrench, and you're going to want to torque this to 26 foot-pounds. I'm going to pull off the bottom bolt now and put some thread locker on it. Same thing on the bottom one. 26 foot-pounds. If you don't have a torque wrench, just use your judgment. It's no tighter than, you know, a regular brake caliper if you've ever done brakes before. Okay, here is the part where we're going to get messy. Take out the plug for your brake line. Keep that nearby. I'm going to unhook the caliper, the factory one. Since you broke this loose earlier, take your 15 again. I'm going to get paper towel and stuff ready. Go ahead and take out your banjo bolt. Get those washers out of there. And if you put your fingers over top like this, it'll help a little bit from getting brake fluid everywhere. Take that plug, plug it back into your factory caliper, and just kind of set it in an upward position so it doesn't leak out everywhere. You're going to take your bolt, a new washer, put it through, new washer on the other side, and screw it into your new caliper. It's a good idea to get the paper towel in there so you don't get brake fluid all over everything. You're going to take your torque wrench and torque this to 23 foot-pounds. And I'm going to set you up here and show you a little trick to do before you actually start getting in there and pumping the pedal. I'm going to get a 10mm wrench, and then once you've got your master cylinder open and it has fluid in it, go ahead and crack your bleeder open. You might have heard that there. You can see a couple bubbles coming through. This is called gravity bleeding. It's basically just the force of the fluid coming from way up top all the way down here to the bottom, and it's filling up the caliper, and it can take a while. And there you go. You see it filled up the caliper without having to have anybody in there doing a whole bunch of extra pumping. Close your bleeder off. Okay, now that you got your helper inside, you have to remember with these newer Jeeps, you don't want to get in there like an old car and just start pumping the crap out of it. You want to be kind of gentle with it. So I've just basically told my assistant do 3 and hold it in. So go ahead and do 3. Okay, and she's holding. I'm going to crack the bleeder valve. Whole lot of air. Go ahead and pump it again. And I'm going to crack the valve. Started to get some fluid there. Go ahead and pump it again. And crack it open again. Okay, we got a decent amount of fluid, but I don't know if you could see all those bubbles that were in there. Go ahead and pump it again. And I'm going to crack the valve now. Now we got good pressure, but there were still a lot of little air bubbles in there. I'm going to check the level on the master cylinder real quick. Okay, I got that topped off. The further away you are from the master cylinder, of course, the longer it's going to take if you know anything about brakes. Okay, go ahead and pump it again. And I'm going to crack the bleeder. Okay, we got a little bit of pressure. I didn't see any bubbles in there, but it wasn't really good pressure, so go ahead and pump it again. And I'm going to crack it open. That looked alright. Let's try it one more time. And we'll crack it open. Just for safety's sake, let's do one more. And there we go. And that should be good. Now, just go back over to the master cylinder, check the fluid levels on it, make sure nothing else is leaking. Okay, we're going to get all the ABS hooked back up here, or not hooked back up, but put back in place. Slide that one back on there. And as you can tell now, since I've got the wheel turned all the way, and your brake line is actually in a different position than it was factory, you're not going to be able to get these back where they were. They would just be pulling way too tight. So it's secured here. I'm going to leave it separated here, but I am going to take a zip tie and zip tie it just once back here. Cut that off. And that's the only alternative I can think of, because, I mean, otherwise, if I was to, I mean, you could stretch it like that, but that's kind of pushing it, so I think this will be fine the way it is. Another thing that I did on the other side is I peeled the sticker off of the Bilsteins. Not that I have anything against Bilstein or anything, but when I noticed when I took the tire off the other side, the sticker was already coming off. I got the wheel straightened back out, double checked for leaks and everything. Pull the slug nut off of here. I'm going to put the wheel back on. I found it's actually easier if you set down. You remember I said that I didn't jack the Jeep up very high, so I could just slide the tire back on. But I use my feet. I don't know how much of this you can see, and actually lift the tire with my feet to get it on there. I'm just going to run these on there real quick. And torque to 110 foot-pounds. Just got back from taking it on a test ride and getting the pads set in and everything. Wow, does it make a difference. I don't know if you can see in there or not. Kind of dark on this side. But it makes a huge difference in the stopping power of this thing. Well, that is it for episode 8 of Project Dirty Willy. We got the TeraFlex big brake kit with slotted rotors installed. They work great. If you came across this video and you're not one of my subscribers, make sure to actually go into my channel and check it out. I've got more than just Jeep videos and more Jeep videos other than this Jeep. I'm pretty sure you'll find something that you like, and if you do, make sure to like and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.